Just now, Huawei released the latest MateBook X Pro. This skin-soothing collection intrigues me most. Skin-soothing metallic body made of magnesium alloy. Skin-soothing. Sounds fancy. Feels even fancier. Besides, the new MateBook X Pro features Super Turbo and upgrades AI minutes and universal color consistency. How on earth does it perform? Without wasting any more time, let's get down to business. First, let's see the specs in details. This laptop features i7-126OP processor, Iris Xe IGPU, dual-channel LPDDR5 5200 MHz, which is much better than last year's 3733. 1 TB hard disk, specs of the screen that conforms to the last gen, and 3:2 IPS touchscreen, with high resolution or refresh and wide color gamut. Outstanding specs. In terms of the price, MateBook X Pro has 2 editions. Skin Soothing Collection has a magnesium alloy body, while 12th Gen Core has an aluminum alloy body, equipped with i7 and i5 respectively. So the price, well, is so high-end flagship. Then, take a look at the exterior. This one is ink blue, and there's a white coating. The body is processed with skin-soothing lacquering. Feels like a mixture of eco-leather and skin-like texture. It's quite innovative in this field. The surface is a little fingerprint resistant. Fingerprints are easy to be wiped. More convenient to be maintained than skin-like coating. Design of the body hasn't changed much. You can easily open the lid with one hand, to 135 degrees maximum. The keyboard layout is consistent with the last gen. 8 piezo ceramics in the touchpad will give vibration feedback when they are pressed. Sliding and tapping feel good, and it supports 8 gestures. For example, tapping the upper left corner to minimizes the window, and tapping the upper right to close it, sliding the left side to adjust the brightness, sliding the right to adjust the volume. Wonderful in vibration feedback and gesture control. Almost the top in Windows PC, personally speaking. Finally, let's look at the bottom case. 4 round rubber feet, air inlets on both sides of the body. The whole body weighs 1.26 kg, 15.2 to 15.6 mm high. The body is made of magnesium alloy. It's 120 grams lighter than, but as high as the previous gen. In your opinion, how many points can the exterior get? I'll give it an 8. The exteriors of previous Huawei laptops always make me feel they are homogenized. Even the flagship X Pro isn't obviously different from other products. But the new Collection Edition and 2 new coatings are outstandingly upscale. Putting the compliment aside, I need to criticize flaws that degrade user experience. Take ports for example. Ports of MateBook X Pro 2022 are all USB-Cs. On the left are 2 Thunderbolt 4, and on the right is a full-featured USB 3, 2 Gen 1. Plenty enough of USB-Cs, but no frequently used USB-A and HDMI. Only one USB-C OTG cable in the box. Docking station is a must for daily use. Now we move to tests. The test of the screen, the board comes from Tianma, the same model as that of last year. 101.5% P3 tested color volume, 94.6% P3 color coverage. This laptop also supports color gamut switch. You can switch native, Shree or P3 in color management, and the color gamut will be limited correspondingly. We've also tested color accuracy in each mode. They're average E all within 1, maximum E 2.5, a good level. Coated in a magnetically controlled nano-optical layer. It can reduce 60% of light reflection, making the displayed black of LCD screen more black. What's worth mentioning is that the Huawei Image Viewer supports color management too. Let's see a set of photos. If they are opened in Windows Photo app, there's no difference between Shree and P3. But it's a different case in the Huawei Image Viewer. It is obvious that Shree is lighter in color, meaning the software recognizes the picture profile and reflects the exact color gamut. It's called universal color consistency, which means that an image will look the same. On Huawei phone, tablet, and laptop, it supports the new MatePad Pro and all P50 at present. I think the function is quite practical, far ahead of Windows, which has poor color management. Come on, Microsoft! Screen brightness of this laptop can exceed 600 nit, outstanding among LCD screens, even able to catch up with HDR local brightness of some OLED screens. The screen adopts full brightness DC dimming, 16.9 ms tested black to white response time, 25.2 ms gray to gray response time. In general, MateBook X Pro's screen is excellent as usual, with high specs of hardware, good user experience, well-performed color gamut and color accuracy, and automatic color gamut switch. Its performance definitely ranks among the top. Now, we'll move on to performance tests. MateBook X Pro 2022 features Super Turbo, which, according to Huawei, improves performance in different usage scenarios through systemic optimization. Systemic optimization sounds abstract, so let's see actual results of the tests. Start a live stream on YouTube and open a Tencent meeting simultaneously. It can be seen that CPU utilization is rather high, as 2 video apps are running. But if Huawei Computer Housekeeper and Control Center are turned on, CPU utilization will drop soon, mainly because browser occupancy is much released. Similar results were delivered in other software tests. When I watch a live stream while unzipping a zip, the unzipping process will be a few seconds faster when the Computer Housekeeper is on. Huawei doesn't explain in detail how Super Turbo works, but I can roughly infer that it conducts rescheduling among apps through recognizing current use scenario, like when I cover the live stream with Tencent Meeting. That means I don't want to watch it for a while. If we let Windows to schedule it, the browser will occupy recourses. But in a Huawei laptop with Super Turbo on, the occupied recourses will be released. I have to say it's really clever. Instead of improving performance by upgrading specs, it reallocates and utilizes resources efficiently in actual use. The housekeeper's self-started by default, so the Super Turbo stays on. Certainly, soft strength is not enough. Hard strength, or benchmark that reflects performance, still needs to be tested. In terms of the CPU, this laptop's equipped with i7-126OP, 4P core plus 8E core, which should be familiar to you. Let's see the scores. CPU single core, Cinebench R20 single thread scores 677 points at a regular level. Multi-core, in an R20 loop, it runs to over 3,500 points in the first round, before stabling at around 3,380, over 1,000 higher than last year, mainly because the 12th gen core improved so violently, from 4 cores directly to 12 cores. Even though they are mainly E-cores, the progress is substantial, except that CPU can rush to 60W in the first round. It stays at around 30W afterwards. Core temperature steadies at about 78. The performance release is quite good to me. It's a 15mm Ultrabook after all. High power consumption would increase the exterior temperature. Then let's see the IGPU. i7-126OP isn't that better than i7-1195G7 of last gen. The number of execution units remains unchanged. So does the clock speed. I was hoping that a 5200 Hz memory can help the IGPU break through, but tests show it's almost the same as last year, though it's stronger than i7-126OP with 4266 or 4800. So what games can this IGPU support? You've tested some mainstream online games. In native resolution, FPS of the 3 games are all low. FPS of Dota 2 and Genshin Impact are below 30. Ike slides. It's mainly because the screen resolution is too high, nearly 4,000, 6,500,000 pixels. Burdensome for the IGPU. It would be much better if the resolution's only 108p, so that the 3 games are barely able to be played when you want to have fun occasionally on business. Sure, as MateBook X Pro is a high-end Ultrabook, it's reasonable that it doesn't excel at games. The use scenario centers on daily office work more. For scenarios of office, Huawei presents many featured functions. Take video conference for example. Other models normally have AI noise cancellation plus smart beautifying, while Huawei gives more options. Turn on the follow cam. The screen auto cuts itself, and auto centers the speaker. The practical smart voice has upgraded as well, by adding a function called AI Minutes, which can recognize and transcript multiple voices.
经理室听电话，让他过来，马上把这个科技技术关上。
It can be told that, when the speaker is articulate, The recognition accuracy is quite high, and it can distinguish different voices. But if voices occur simultaneously or are interrupted, there will be some recognition errors. AI Minutes also supports audio and video transcription, and Chinese English free talk, so even you don't bring the laptop to the meeting, you can do sound recording and later use the function. Anyway, I think AI Minutes is a valuable function that saves efforts for you in meetings. But don't rely on it too much. Don't be lazy when you're supposed to take notes. Apart from the experience in video conference, deep progresses are made in connection between devices, like the multi-screen collaboration you like, which is called Super Device now. Devices can be connected easily in Control Center. Multi-screen collaboration of phone supports 3 windows at large, and clipboard sharing, searching files in phone on laptop, etc. These functions were tested in our previous videos, so we'll skip them today. After talking so many software functions, we'll move to our tradition, disassembly. Finally, we have a laptop hard to disassemble due to the hidden screws under the 2 rubber feet above, and the rubber feet stick fast. So you need tools to pry them up and unscrew the screws. After uncovering the back with a suction cup, we see that the internal structure doesn't change much. At the bottom is a 60Wh battery. Tested battery life of PC Mark 10 Modern Office, 8 hours 45 minutes. Regular SSD isn't a specific model. PCIe 3.04. Tested small capacity reading 3500, write-in 2800, about 9 GB out of cache during sequential write, about 700 MB per second out of cache speed, fluctuates occasionally. The speed is normal, enough for daily office work, but not up to the level of the top SSD PCIe 3.0. Memory is on the back of the motherboard, soldered and not replaceable. A 5200 MHz memory bandwidth is indeed higher than 4800, even much stronger than 3733 of last year, but latency of LPDDR5 is higher as a result, reaching 113 Ns. Finally, thermals. It follows last gen's vapor chamber plus dual fans, which performed well last year. Now let's see actual effects in the pressure test. Under room temperature 25, we tested it by stress CPU. 30 minutes later, we got 81 CPU 30W power consumption, 25W IA power, 2.9 GHz P-core, and 2.4 GHz E-core. The performance release is the same as last year. From the thermographs, we can see that the absolute temperature isn't high. The highest temperature is 43.3 C, but the high temperature area is a little large. The center area of the keyboard is all lit above 40. Long-term high-loaded use will cause hotness. For the noise, the fan noise under full load is 39.3 decibels, quiet for an Ultrabook. In general, heat dissipation of MateBook X Pro 2022 is average. Compared with the last gen, the thermal module and stress test power consumption are unchanged, but fan noise has lowered, while exterior temperature has increased. It's adjusted towards a quieter machine. The 2 strategies are both acceptable to me. Its heat dissipation's plenty enough for business trips. After watching all the tests, you must have had some understandings of this laptop. As usual, we list 3 merits and 3 demerits for your reference. Merits first. First, high quality of the screen. Screen's always a key selling point of Huawei high-end PC. MateBook X Pro 2022 supports 3:2 and high resolution. It also has built-in color gamut switch. Tested color accuracy and brightness are good as well. Second, finely crafted, skin-soothing coated body. High-end Ultrabooks these years invariably have a CNC body and anodized sandblasting. Exquisite indeed, but enough for the eyes. So this laptop's skin-soothing surface surprises me. It keeps exquisiteness and differentiates itself from other products. Third, low noise under full load. A fan noise under full load is less than 40 dB. In the hot summer, it's even quieter than the AC in the office. Very quiet, isn't it? After talking about the merits, we also need to point out its demerits. First, few type of ports, only Type-C. Despite that, Type-C is the trend for the future. Many existing devices still rely on USB-A and HDMI. Slashing all other types of port is too radical for me. Second, slow speed rate of SSD. The tested SSD speed is normal, the mid-level in PCIe 3.0 SSD, even though it's enough for general purposes. It's not enough for a high-end laptop priced over $1,486. Third, the high price. This laptop sells over $1,486, very expensive for an IGPU Ultrabook. Its target users are mainly business people, so the cost performance is obviously what this kind of products are good at. In the end of last year, when Huawei released MateBook X Pro 2022, I was curious back then about the name of the new product. To my surprise, it's really Skin Soothing Collection 2022 and the 12th Gen Core 2022. Although they both have a 2022 in their names, they have made tangible progress as they replaced Intel's traditional 4-core i7, caught up with the average level in memory clock speed, upgraded functions like AI Minutes and Super Turbo, and most importantly, the Skin Soothing Collection Edition is literally a work of art, you know? So I recommend it to business people who require a lot of the exterior and the screen and have adequate budget. I definitely recommend the Skin Soothing Edition, but as for the regular aluminum alloy edition, I actually recommend i5. Besides, considering few type of port, docking station would be a must. So, think carefully before purchase. Okay, that's all for today's video. If you like it, please hit like and subscribe to our channel. If you want to interact with me every day, please follow us on WeChat official account. I will talk about a laptop there every day. This laptop may be worth it or not, but all we want is to provide info and guidance. This is Biva Laptops. I'm Juan. See you next time.